Granddaddy P here. I'm torn. Long version. I did a short. I'm going to let this one ride for several minutes. It'll wind up being a long, I think. But I am torn. As you know, I lived in Seoul for 10 years. It was quite some time ago, but I lived there for 10 straight years. My wife is Korean. My daughter is Korean. My grandchildren are Korean. I consider Korea my second country. Don't get me wrong. I'm an American first. Always will be. This is my country. But I love Korea. But I also hate Korea. I have family in Korea, and I still love them. And like I said, I love Korea, but I also hate it. I hate what's happening there. I love Korean dramas. I love Korean movies. I like some Korean music. I actually like trap music. And I like some K-pop. Some of the rock bands, the rockers, Korean rockers, do it better than the originals. I like them. I like Korean entertainment. I used to watch Korean TV when I lived in Korea. And all we had was American Forces Korea Network for English. That's it. That was a joke. And Korean networks. And I think there were three. KBS 1, KBS 2, and maybe MBC if I'm not forgetting. But that was it. So I would watch Korean TV, of course, no subtitles. And even though I lived there for 10 years, I worked in an English-speaking community, so I really didn't get to learn the language as well as I should have. So, no subtitles, but I would watch them anyway. And there were times when I would laugh at comedians. I didn't have a clue what they were saying, but they were hilarious. I would watch dramas. I would like them, again, not knowing what's really going on. And I came to the United States, and for a couple of years on our Channel 48 here, they were playing Korean dramas, like one a week, or they'd play one until it ran out and then bring up another one, and it took a while. The first one I think I watched was Age of Warriors. That's a long time ago. And I watched a few others, and I liked them. They gave us some subtitles, but then that channel was bought up by a religious organization, and it was gone. So, I couldn't watch anymore. I didn't watch anymore. All of a sudden, in 2020, during COVID, that year, 5 years ago, I went to visit my daughter in another state. And she had Apple TV, and she had a big screen TV up in the guest room. And I walked in one day after playing with the kids downstairs, and my wife has the big screen on, and she's watching a drama. I had never heard of it. Didn't know any of the actors. And I was baffled because I didn't know the before or the after. But there were like 5 or 6 guys sitting around a table in North Korean uniforms. And a woman, I guess she was leaving and going somewhere, was giving them gifts. Can you remember what I'm talking about? Can you guess what I'm talking about? I'm talking about Crash Landing on You. That was the first scene I ever saw. And then the next night I watched the last episode. That's it. That's all I'd seen. And I went, wow, I have to see this. So I came back home and ordered Netflix. I did not have Netflix. Ordered Netflix right away and went and watched Crash Landing on You from beginning to end. I then watched Hi Bye Mama from beginning to end. Still my favorite. That one made me cry like I've never cried in my life. Awesome. And I was hooked. 5 years later, I'm still watching, friends. I'm still watching. Still going. I'm also watching the news, Korean news. I'm watching the all K-pop, the Sumpi, the Panchoa, the Korea Boo. I read the Korea Times and the Korea Herald English language every day. Obviously, I'm really into it. Most of the time, you see me in my car on my way to work or on my way back from work. That's where I do most of my broadcasts, occasionally here from my desk at home. And I have this YouTube channel. And I do this. And I also have a TikTok channel that I use less, but I use. And so, I'm really into this. I've loved it for the last 5 years. I would love to go back to Korea, but I'm kind of semi-retired. I'm basically retired, working part-time. Costs a lot of money to go to Korea. And, I'm just not there, so I don't go. But I watch, I look, I read. I do much as I can to keep up with Korea. But now I'm at a loss, friends. I don't know if I can take much more. I just don't. I mean, what can I say? I watch Koreans eat themselves. We just watched Kim Se-ran die. Several before her have done so in the last year. Lee Sun-kyun did it a year ago. Yoga instructor, famous, just did it today. What's going on? Korea eats its own. There's no room for mistakes, especially if you are a female. The males catch it too, but not nearly to the extent. There was no reason for Kim Se-ran to die. She had one DUI in her life at age 22, and at 24 she's dead because Korea ate her. Korea wouldn't forgive her. Korea wouldn't let her work in the industry or out of the industry. They destroyed her. They killed her. That's my take on that. Lee Sun-kyun saw no way out. For something he really didn't even do. Gone. There were no drugs in his system. Twice. But still, all the contracts were canceled. All the money that had to be paid back. All the fines and fees. He thought his only way out was to end himself, and he did. It's very sad. It's very sad. Usually, the girls take it in as shorts. Usually. Sometimes the guys do. But I have to tell you, it's mainly the females. It's mainly the young women. Kim Se-ran is dead. Sully is dead. Kim Hae-ora is not dead, but she's not working over allegations of school bullying that Dispatch, our famous Dispatch from South Korea, put out. Wow. Turns out they found out that the witnesses, the accusers, were paid by Dispatch. And they recanted. That's a key word, folks. Recanted. Took back their statements. But yet, Kim Hae-ora does not work. This is Korea. Two females. Sometimes males. Mostly the females. Let's look at Suga from BTS. He too had a DUI. And although his fans will say the police never formally released his blood alcohol content, it was released behind the scenes. And his blood alcohol content was higher than Kim Se-ran's. But he was on a scooter, a motorbike. She was in a car. He fell over she hit a transformer. Each case, nobody was hurt, but it doesn't matter. Sugar was forgiven pretty much before he got off the damn bike. There was no perp walk. You know how Kim Se-ran was walked into court on several occasions with the people with the microphones in her face. None of that happened to Sugar. Why? Why not? Why not? Why not? He somehow simply got to plead guilty to DUI. That was the end of it. That was the end of it. Took his license. That was it. Never went to court. Never did nothing. He will go on as if nothing ever happened. He will not be castigated. He will not be hated. He will not be ruined for doing pretty much the same thing that Kim Se-ran did. Let us look at Lee Jung-jae. Oh, Lee Jung-jae. Multi-millionaire many times over. Star of Squid Game 1, Squid Game 2, and soon to be Squid Game 3. Making $1 million per episode. Filthy freaking rich. Two DUIs. Two. Not one, but two assaults and batteries. And the man is a woman beater. Yeah. Beat up a woman so bad. So bad. Dragged her out of a club. Now, people are saying she was in his car. Well, police report says he dragged her out of the club and kicked and beat the shit out of her. That's a woman beater. Yeah. That man's career never missed a freaking beat. Not a moment of hiatus. Nothing. Just right on through. There are many men, actors, who have been charged and convicted of sexual assault. Suspended sentence. Minor fine. Back to work. You see, it usually doesn't happen to the men. They are forgiven so quickly and so easily. But the females, the women in South Korea, they can look at somebody wrong and be canceled and hated and shunned. I'm going to say it the way I feel it, because I feel it. I woke up Sunday morning here in South Jersey, New Jersey, and I picked up my phone, and first thing I saw was a news article. Actress Kim Se-ran passes away at 24. She did not just pass away. She took her own life. South Korea would not let her function. They would not let her work. They would not let her work in the industry. They would not let her work outside of the industry. Everything she tried to do outside of the industry, somebody would leak it, and they'd protest the business, and Kim Se-ran would be let go. Now imagine, you've been an actress since you were 9. You're 22, 23, 24. You did one bad thing. You repented of it. You paid for it. You paid for it with cash. But they never let you live it down. They haunted your every step. I mean, it's insanity, people. It's insanity. They haunted this girl in the industry, out of the industry, everywhere she went. She couldn't have a birthday party. She couldn't go out with friends. She couldn't go to work. Nothing. Always somebody was there. Article was written. And thousands upon thousands of hate comments would appear. Imagine living your life like that every day. Every day. And you owe your agency, your former agency, because they dropped you like a hot potato 2 months after your problem. Yeah. But they paid some of your penalties. You paid compensation. You paid to fix what you damaged. But you didn't have enough, and they helped you by paying the damage, the fees for breaking contracts. Yeah. So now you're just making your comeback. Just now. You do a low budget movie. You filmed it and finished it in November of just last year. It's in post production. It's due to come out in May. This might be the door opening to allow the young lady back into the entertainment industry so she can make some money and maybe pay off her debts. She was also planning to open a cafe with her friends. These were plans that were in the works. Things were beginning finally to look up. Finally. And what does her agency do? And wait till I tell you who owned that agency. What do? They sue her for $500,000, knowing that she does not have it. Knowing her situation, knowing what happened because she was in their agency, knowing her situation, knowing what she's gone through for the last 2.5 years, knowing all of it. And now you slam her with lawsuits to collect money that you know she does not have. Yes, she owes it. That's fact. But she doesn't have it. So, thousands upon thousands of hate comments all the time. And now I'm being sued for $500,000 that I don't have and don't know how I can get it. I give up. And she ended her life. Thank you to Dispatch. Thank you to Lee Jin Ho. Thank you. My ass, thank you. But thank you to netizens. Thank you to the media. Thank you to the agency. The agency, gold medalist. The owner of the agency, and we know he's the owner because he is the founder, even though his name is not on the paperwork anymore. One of the most highest paid actors in Korea. KSH. That's probably the way I should say it. We know who he is. A public net worth, it could be higher, it could be lower, of $117 million. Very famous, very successful. He couldn't force his agency, because there is no agency without him, to restructure or postpone suing this poor girl. So she's ended her life, and we get nothing but, and I did another video on this, we get nothing but flowers and crocodile tears. All her co-workers and friends in the industry were so distraught. They were so upset. Where were they for 2.5 years? You never once heard anything from any of them. Not one. Not one. As soon as she dies, they come out of the woodwork, send flowers, say good things, cry. I just don't know how much more I can take, folks. I just don't know how much more I can take. Watching the industry that I love destroy its own. Time and time and time again. I'll leave it there. We're at 20 minutes and change. I'll leave it there. Comment. I would appreciate your comments. As you can tell, I'm still not over this. Still not over it. I don't know the girl. Never knew the girl. Never met the girl. Never will meet the girl now. But I've seen her work. I saw her professionalism. I know that she was a unique talent. At 24, we were expecting so much more. I was so looking forward to this movie. I jumped for joy when I heard that she did it. And then now, this. I just don't know how much more I can take. I have my favorites. I watched them closely. Several of them are going through difficulties, just like hers. Maybe not to the extreme, but they're having problems too. South Korean entertainment industry. Please remember, these people are human beings. They're not gods and goddesses. They're not perfect. Please stop eating your own. Granddaddy P, signing out.